Well, it just might. It's just long enough to fall for the blacksmith's daughter and move on. You know. Okay, let's see. What would you not? What are you tired of? What are you really tired of in the Evil Dead films? Yeah, we'll see all the hands go up now. Go ahead.
Ash's clothes.
Ash's clothes. The Montgomery Ward's clothes. Yeah. What do you recommend? Well, actually, I think we're going to do a little more leather and armor this time. Because, yeah. Get the blacksmith to do a little hand gizmo, maybe. You know, to crush the skulls of the Evil Dead, something like that. Yeah, so I think Ash will have new clothes. Yes, that's a definite possibility. What else? What else do you not want to see? Trees? What? Oh, no more trees raping women? Come on. Actually, the last actress got Dutch elm disease, but that's another story. So anyway, gee whiz. How about what? No more bookcases falling over. Okay, I agree with that too. No more cheesy 2-ounce bookcases. That's no problem. We're working it, yeah. No more dead ballet dancers. How about dead belly dancers? Okay. Yeah. No more wimpy, whiny women. There's just a wimpy, whiny man. That's Ash. Incidentally, how does it feel to be smarter than Ash? Doesn't it make you feel good? Seriously. Just sitting in the audience, you know, Ash is always doing things that the audience is way smarter than him. Because he's always opening doors that you know he shouldn't, or going outside. I'm going to step outside and see if everything's okay. Here's one thing I'm trying to eliminate is talking to the dark. Who's out there? It's us. Yeah, we're gonna be working on that. That's too funny too. Yeah. Did I do any of my own stunts? Yes, because we couldn't afford any poor staff to do them for me. Painful? Yeah, this was pretty painful. And it's very fine that the Three Stooges once said, the pain goes away on payday. So, yeah. You gotta rent the movie, my friend. Money to get in here? Jeez. Yeah, right straight back.
Can you just say groovy?
I'm all choked up. I can't. Say it. Go ahead, say it back. Can you say groovy?
Can you say, how long have you been doing like your stunts and stuff like that? You work on that separately, or?
That was started, I've known Sam Raimi since we were in 8th grade. We had a show that we did called the Bonzoid Sisters. And it was just real cheesy acrobatics that were really terrible. But that's kind of how the whole thing started. It's really no different than big-time wrestling. Only it's with blood, you know. And a lot of it's sort of faked. I mean, all the sound effects and all that stuff. If you had a big thump when the guy lands, it has the impression that it hurts more than it did, even though it did. But that's fine. So what were we talking about? What not to have? Were we done with that, or no? What not to have? All right. Well, we can do general sort of questions. Let's see. And meanwhile, I'll think of some more for you. Go ahead. Bring it back.
When's Sundown coming out?
Sundown. Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Sundown was made by Vestron. It's an, what is it? It's a comedy western vampire movie. No confusion there. I think it's going to come out on video in October. That's what I had heard. No, I don't think it'll make it to the theaters. The company that made it, Vestron, had a financial kind of seizure, and so they don't have the wherewithal to do it anymore. So I think they sold it to some phony company. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. Will Sundown be unrated? No, that's good old-fashioned R. probably. Yeah. Evil Dead 2, was that supposed to be made so that it could stand on its own, right? Okay, let me explain the little problem between part 1 and 2 for those of you who said, why is he stupid enough to go back to the cabin again? Yeah. Okay, we couldn't get the rights to the original footage. At least it was unsure who owned the rights, us or New Line Cinema. So we thought, well, let's just get all the original actors back together again, and then we'll drive up, we'll reshoot the footage. Usually in the sequel they always show the part 1 and they show some phony baloney recap. Well, we found out that the one actress was doing a talk show in Chicago, and another guy was driving a truck in Michigan, and another one had 2 kids, and blah, blah. So it was impossible. So we went, not that many people saw Evil Dead 1. Let's just have them go up with just one person. And so everyone thinks, unfortunately, that Ash was really stupid enough to go back, which he is, but we didn't want to convey that. So we had to fake it. That's why it's confusing. So we apologize. Part 3, the same rights are owned by part 3 and 2, so we can steal rampantly from part 2. Yeah.
When's part 3 going to be released?
Part 3 will be released sometime in 91-ish. Something like that. Sam takes a long time to shoot, Sam Raimi. So it's going to be like a year anyway after that. It takes forever to shoot those films. So, oh yeah, how about here? Yeah.
In your new movies, you're so intense and screaming all the time. Isn't that, how do you cut and then go home for the day and then come back and focus on the movie? And isn't that really rough?
The screaming, the discussion is about screaming, about the
intensity.
how to keep it up. Is that the story? Now, come on. I'm not a phony method actor, so what I do is push-ups before a shot. If I need to scream or whatever. That's too horrible. God love the Queen, you know. Asia's fine. They really eat that up. It's just in Japan, as I understand, you can't like kill your father or something. Anything else is okay, but you know, incest, or you can't show pubic hair. Or there's certain weird. Each country has its own weird thing. But usually we title it. The guy in France said, "It's okay. I fix your picture. I fix it for you." He was going to redo all the dialogue, which in Evil Dead 1 that was probably okay. And they called it like Dance of the Dead. In Italy, it was just called, I think, The Dead, or The House. The House, right. They all come up with their own phony names, yeah. Yeah, because I'm one of the phony producers, too. So he has to listen to me. No, we work real well together, because I think it's a lot of collaborative effort. Yeah, but you know, you really should discuss a lot of stuff ahead of time, because otherwise you can't get on the set when you're spending $30,000 a day and start kicking around ideas. It's the wrong time. You really work it out ahead of time. That way there's no friction on the set either. You don't want that. So, yeah.
Yeah, what kind of movie would you like to appear in?
What I like to appear in? One that's like financed by a studio. A movie like Dark Man, perhaps. Something that gets a wider release. But I have to say, in all loyalty to the genre, I think there's a lot of merit to independent films, because I think a lot of the people who work on independent films tend to really work harder. You look at the first film of like George Romero, you look at the first films of Tobe Hooper, those guys really worked hard. Like Texas Chainsaw, I think is a great directorial effort. The guy really worked like a dog, you could tell. Now later, I don't know, you know, what that's evolved into, but the independent world is great, because you have a lot of people who are trying really hard, and it's great, yeah.
Where was Maniac Cop 2 shot?
What's that?
When was Maniac Cop 2
shot? It was shot in December through January.
Where?
In Los Angeles and New York. 2 different places.
What was?
Maniac Cop 2, I'm sorry. Wait, the question was, where was Maniac Cop 2 shot? Los Angeles and New York. How many out there are phony filmmakers yourself? There's a hand. What else we got? One back there. You trying to raise money? No. How are you going to make movies? Wait, what? Sell babies for drugs? That's what or whatever. Yeah, in the back. Is that what?
Is it in moratorium, the set itself? I know you can't purchase them on the market.
Why can't you?
I can't find any.
It's not what's known as sell-through, which means the labels get cheesier and the quality gets cheesier, and so don't try and dupe it, which I know you already have, because it won't be that good. But I don't know. I think you can probably order it. Can't you order it from somebody directly? Let's hope. You've already duped it all anyway, so what's the difference? Come on, let's get back to this filmmaker question. Who's a filmmaker? Have you made any movies yet?
Raise your hand.
One? Did you raise money for it?
No, it's all like little budget. Everyone just like.
Well, even if it's low budget, where'd you get the cash? Did you work at 7-Eleven?
There's just like you had to buy your own stuff.
You just... So you sort of pieced it together?
Yeah. Everyone just like made it all together.
How many people here would like to make a low-budget horror movie? Hey, look at that, look at that. How many people would like to suffer for 5 years? Don't kid yourself, don't kid yourself. Get like 2 other partners so that when you get bored or broke, you'll have other people who have money and are still interested. And it'll revolve. Okay, a lot of hands went up if you want to make a low-budget horror movie. Where are you going to get the money? That's what I'm curious. From parents? They're going to look down on the idea of making a horror film anyway. Yeah.
How does Sam Raimi get the money?
How did Sam Raimi get the money?
Yeah.
We went to doctors and lawyers and dentists and people with raw cash. And we showed them a Super 8 movie that we did called Within the Woods that was a little mini prototype of the movie. So with the advent of video, I would think that, and the quality, you can video edit now, you should show investors something of what you think you can do, something that is along those lines, and it can work. But you also have to have a lawyer involved, because if you lose all their money, they can get really irate, investors. So, but what else? How are you going to raise money? We haven't talked about that yet. Yeah, what else do you need? Way in the back.
We recycle for our money. We trade cans and paper on that and get some money.
Yeah, and what, 2050 you'll start shooting? Recycle, okay, well that's pretty noble actually, but that's it, I'll write that down. Recycle. Okay, what do you think you need to give investors other than showing them your talent? A lawyer, yeah, what's a lawyer gonna do? Charge you, there you go. They put in all the tax ramifications and the risk factors, because that way if you lose money, God forbid, you can at least explain that you warned them. It's very important to warn them. So any of you who are serious, I encourage any of you who want to become phony independent filmmakers. It can be done, but you have to be prepared to spend an awful lot of time and effort. It's a lot of hard work, and sacrifice your own stinking personal life too, yeah. Oh, did I put my own money into... No, profits were used to live off of, basically. You know. Yeah, it's a questionable thing of whether you should put your own money into your own movies, because you're already putting so much time and effort into them anyway. We found that it's best to get other people enthused, but then put their hard-earned cash in as well. Usually, though, you can't avoid it. You always wind up losing some money on something anyway.